This is ANN News Brief.
The United Nations envoy to Libya says the airstrikes on a migrant detention center outside Libya's capital that killed at least 40 persons could be a war crime. Ghassan Salame said in a statement on Wednesday the strikes in which innocent persons were killed by surprise clearly could constitute a war crime. He said there were innocent people whose dire conditions forced them to be in that shelter. The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugee and African Union have also condemned the airstrikes, which wounded more than 130 persons. Libyan health officials said in addition to those killed in the strikes late on Tuesday, another 80 were wounded. UN High Commissioner for Refugees Filippo Grandi said in the aftermath of the attacks that civilians must not be targets, that migrants and refugees should not be detained, and that Libya is not a safe place to return rescued migrants who are trying to get to Europe by making the dangerous crossing of the Mediterranean Sea. Grandi called on those countries with influence on the parties involved in Libya's conflict to work together to end the fighting. Humanitarian groups that have operated rescue ships in the Mediterranean are saying the view of the Italian Interior Minister that their presence encourages smugglers to send migrants on boats from Libya is untrue. Spokesman for Doctors Without Borders in Italy, Marco Battotto, said at a news conference on Wednesday that only 1 out of every 6 smugglers' boats that departed Libya during the first 6 months of the year was met by a humanitarian rescue ship. He says there have been 20 standoffs between private and ships carrying rescued migrants and European government that refused to provide immediate safe harbor since Italy's populist government took office last year. Babato says the settlement involved 2,500 persons kept at sea for a total of 165 days. Stay with us. We'll be back after this message. Human Rights Watch has said on Wednesday police in Kenya have killed no fewer than 21 men and boys in Nairobi's low-income areas, claiming they were criminals. The group says there is no justification for the extrajudicial killings. The group says these executions point to a broader problem of police using excessive unlawful force in the name of maintaining law and order in Nairobi's informal settlements. The right group says law enforcement officials fail to comply with the law in ensuring all police killings are reported, investigated, and that those responsible for unlawful killings are prosecuted. Human Rights Watch says it has found that since August last year, police have unlawfully shot dead at least 21 men and boys whom they alleged were criminals in Nairobi's Dandora and Mathare neighborhoods alone. Rights activists in those areas believe that based on the cases they know about and those reported in the media, police have unlawfully killed many more in the past year. Under Kenyan and international law, the police should only intentionally use lethal force when it is strictly unavoidable to protect life. That's ANN News Brief. For details on these and other breaking stories, visit our website, annafrica.news. Conversation continues on our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at ANN Africa TV. I am Lucy Adeyemi.